Pretty soon, we'll be getting one of the most important items ever to come to Pokemon Go, and I'm of course talking about bottle caps. What this item will do is that when you use it on one of your Pokemon, you're going to be able to increase the IVs of that Pokemon until it is 100%. And for this video, I'm going to be going through my collection and talking about which Pokemon I'm going to prioritize when it comes to using this item. Alright, what's happening y'all? Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon Go video. I hope your day is going really well, and let's get right into it. So today we're going to be talking about bottle caps. What we know is that this is going to be an item that is going to be introduced to Pokemon Go, and it's going to allow us to increase the IVs of our Pokemon. This is something that a lot of players have been asking for a very long time, and it does look like, based on data mined info, that we're going to be getting it extremely soon. I'm talking about Pokemon Go Fest Global. So now I kind of want to talk about which of my Pokemon I plan to use it on, because I think there's plenty of different candidates that should be powered up to 100% IVs before anything else. And I did want to talk about it because when I look at my collection, yeah, I certainly have a lot of Pokemon that are already at 100% IVs, but there is quite a few that I would definitely want to get to perfect IVs. So here is my collection. Of course, as always, I sort my collection based on name, and I use a numbering system to sort them in a specific order. And at the very top, this is actually my top 12 legendaries. Not necessarily my 12 most powerful legendaries or my 12 most used legendaries, but these are just my personal favorite 12 Pokemon. So I have Shadow Mewtwo, I have this Ho-Oh, this Lugia, this Kyogre, this Groudon, which is already at 100%, as well as this Rayquaza, and then I got the Beast Trio and the Bird Trio. And then after that, I have a couple of Shundos and high IV shinies, specifically this Shundo Rayquaza, which was actually my first ever Shundo. It's definitely my most prized Pokemon in my collection. And yeah, as you can see right here, I've Mega Evolved it quite often. It is one of those Pokemon that I've used the most. It's definitely my prized possession on my account. But right after it, you could see I got the Shundo from Pokemon Go Fest last year, which is, of course, my Shundo Necrozma. Currently, it is a Duskmane Necrozma, and then of course right after it, I have a 96% Dawnwings Necrozma, which I think a lot of players will say that Dawnwings Necrozma is a lot more useful compared to Duskmane Necrozma, but between the two, I will say Duskmane Necrozma is my personal favorite. So, of course, I'm going to choose that one for my Shundo. But of course, I would like this one to be a Shundo as well, so this Duskmane Necrozma will most likely be the very first Pokemon that I use a bottle cap on, specifically the Golden Bottle Cap. And yeah, I would definitely like this to be 100% IVs. Of course, it's not going to take much. I only need to power up the defense and HP just 1 point. And this is going to become a Shundo Necrozma. It's going to be my second one in my collection, and that means I'm going to have Shundos of both of the fusion forms for Necrozma, and I think that would be really cool. And then next up, I would use my bottle caps on my 2 fusion forms for Kyurem. So already we're at 3 bottle caps. I believe if it's going to work the way a lot of people are speculating, it's going to be 2 bottle caps per a Go Pass mechanic. Specifically, with the free track, you're going to get the regular silver bottle cap, which is only going to increase one of the stats of a Pokemon. And then there's going to be a golden bottle cap, which is going to increase all the stats of your Pokemon. So that means for something like this, I would need a golden bottle cap. Same with this one. But specifically for this one, I could probably use the silver bottle cap and I could get it to 100% IVs. So this will likely be the second Pokemon that I would use a bottle cap on, specifically a regular bottle cap rather than the golden bottle cap. So already we're at 2 Pokemon that need a bottle cap, but of course with this one, it would require a third bottle cap, which would be a golden bottle cap. So now our count is at 3. Now the next Pokemon that I would use a bottle cap on is actually Pokemon that I recently got, and it's actually going to be this Zacian. Actually, maybe not this one. There is one in particular that I got over this past weekend. Oh, yep, there it is. This is the one that I would use a golden bottle cap on. This is a shiny Zacian with the New York location card. This is definitely one of those that is very much deserving of a bottle cap. Now, I also have a Zamazenta, but it doesn't unfortunately have the location card, so I may not necessarily use it on this one. But for sure, I would want to use it on this Zacian because specifically it is a shiny with the location card. I think it's very much deserving of a bottle cap. And then afterwards, I really do not know necessarily which ones I would use the bottle cap on. I suppose I would go through my shiny legendary collection and try to pick out a Pokemon that would be a Pokemon that I would use quite often. Specifically, maybe this shiny Terrakion. Of course, Terrakion is one of the most powerful fighting types in the game. And of course, it would be really cool if I could get a Shundo of this Pokemon. That way I could have one that I could use for raid battles as well as gym battles. I think that would be pretty cool. So I will say that Terrakion would be, I think we're at number 5. That would be the 5th Pokemon that I would use a bottle cap on. Unfortunately, for this shiny Terrakion, I would need a golden bottle cap. So that means at this point, I need 4 golden bottle caps and then, of course, 1 silver bottle cap. We're kind of drawing a little bit unequal here. Like if we were to buy 4 Go passes, then I would need to find 4 Pokemon where I only need to increase 1 of the stats. Maybe we could find something here. I'm wondering if it could be maybe this Mewtwo. Nope. Maybe this Giratina, actually. This Giratina altered form. I think this one could be a good candidate for a silver bottle cap. I don't necessarily use this Pokemon quite often though. Maybe this Zekrom would be good, yeah, because I do use Zekrom quite a bit. So I think Zekrom right here would use my 2nd silver bottle cap. And then, let's see, let's find a 3rd. Maybe this Zapdos? Yeah, I'm gonna do this shiny Zapdos because out of the 3 legendary birds, I would actually say that shiny Zapdos is my favorite. I would personally like to have a Shundo of each of the legendary birds. Obviously, my highest IV shiny out of these 3 is going to be this 96% lucky Zapdos, which is unfortunate because I don't have any good IVs of shiny Moltres or Articuno, but eventually I plan to get them. So I think those will use bottle caps as well. All right, so we're at 7 legendary shinies that are going to get my next 7 bottle caps, and 3 of them are of course going to be the silver bottle cap, and then 4 are going to require the golden bottle cap. So let's try to find one more that I could use the silver bottle cap on, and that would essentially cap us out. I don't think I'm going to use it on any of these Pokemon. Maybe this Lucario, actually. Yeah, I'm actually gonna say it's gonna be this Lucario, mainly because Lucario, of course, does have a lot of uses. It's a very powerful fighting type. It does have a Mega Evolution, which is considered top tier. I think it's going to be this Lucario. So yeah, there you go. That's my 8 Pokemon. So I'm going to use it on this Necrozma right here, this Dawnwings shiny Necrozma. I'm going to use them on these 2 fusion forms of Kyurem, and then I'm going to use it on Lucario, and then what did I say? Did I say, oh yeah, this Giratina, and then, of course, the shiny Zacian from New Jersey Go Fest, which I obtained with a location card. So yeah, I think that's, and don't forget this Terrakion as well. I think Terrakion is actually probably going to take a little bit more priority over the Zacian because I already have a perfect IV Zacian, so yeah. What are other good candidates? Well, if you have a shiny Galarian legendary bird, I just saw one in my collection. Like, if you have any of these, they're really good candidates, although I will say that in terms of the meta, they're not necessarily that useful. But if all you care about is the vanity of it, if you just care about the collection aspect of it, yeah, I think Galarian legendary birds are definitely a great candidate. What other Pokemon should use them on? Well, of course, the fusion forms, like the fusion forms for Necrozma, the fusion forms for Kyurem. They're some of the most powerful Pokemon in the game. And then, of course, you got Kyogre and Groudon. Their primal reversions are top tier for a variety of different situations. I think those are really good candidates. But I think something that is definitely going to be the most popular use for bottle caps is of course shiny Rayquaza. I think a lot of players are going to try to get exactly what I already have, which is a Shundo Rayquaza. That is definitely going to be top priority for a majority of players, especially because this is one of the coolest looking shinies in the game, especially when you Mega Evolve it. Like, let me show you right here what it looks like when you Mega Evolve a Shundo Rayquaza. It just looks phenomenal. It's one of the coolest Mega Evolutions in the game, in my opinion. I mean, just look at that. It just looks so cool. In fact, I even have it tattooed on my arm. This is actually a Mega Rayquaza, a shiny Mega Rayquaza tattoo. Yeah, I think it's one of the coolest Pokemon in the game. Yeah, I think even ever. So, yeah, I do suspect that a lot of people are going to go for their Shundo Rayquazas. And yeah, I'm just overall really excited about bottle caps. I think it's going to be a game changer, and I think it's going to create a lot of positive buzz for Pokemon Go. So yeah, anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Definitely share your thoughts down below. What Pokemon are you going to use your first bottle caps on? Definitely share it in the comments, and yeah, let's have a great discussion. And thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here, and don't forget the notification bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. Real quick, let me give a shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support the Content Slow channel, the best way you could do that is going to be by joining my Patreon. And if you become a paid Patreon member, I'm going to add you to my Pokemon Go friends list. So that means for stuff like remote raids, the friendship system, opening and sending gifts. If you want to play Pokemon Go with me, then make sure you go and check out my Patreon. And if you want to support my channel in a completely different way, you're always welcome to do so by following me on social media. My handle is @Jinsula. I'm on the platforms you see on the bottom of your screen. Make sure you go over there and give me a follow, and you'll have access to some exclusive content, and you'll be able to keep up with my daily life. With all that said, that's going to be it for this video. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself today, and I'll catch you all later.